The RiotPWR Lightning controller for iOS for your iPhone devices gaming needs. You can see designed for Xbox, and that's because it works really well with the Xbox Ultimate Pass, which we'll talk about in a moment. It also works with PS Remote Play, Amazon Luna. So if you have some of those other gaming services, cloud gaming services, it's absolutely compatible with that. So there's some nice things that this controller has. $69. Link will be in the description. Amazon. There is something that offsets some of that price, is that you do get a free month of Xbox Ultimate. So whatever that is, $12, $10, you kind of get that a month for free to try it. So there is some savings there. Overall, I like it. Let's look at the back of the box, see what you get. So you can see removable mount, which we'll talk about because that's actually the most important part to me of it, next to the latency on the controller. There's the effects triggers, the ABXY buttons, dedicated Xbox button, which on iPhone will bring you to the Game Center if you're doing something in iOS. If you're doing something in Xbox Game Pass, it'll bring you basically like it would before. Share button, clickable thumbsticks, your R3, L3, stuff that you want, dedicated Xbox button we talked about. Pass-through charging, which is important. We'll talk about that when we go through the once-over of the hardware, which we'll do now. And you heard me talk about that stand because one of the letdowns, or the big letdowns that I have with these controllers, is that this part isn't secure. And when you'll see in the videos when I'm using it, it is absolutely rock solid. Like, it is really nice, and it can withstand to hold the weight of the iPhone, whether you have a Pro, I have an iPhone 14 Pro. People were talking about their 12 Pros, the Maxes. It could absolutely withstand it, so it's not flopping around. You got your $1,200 phone on here dangling around while you're trying to game. That's absolutely not the case. And what's great about this is you can see it here. Here's the lightning connector. You plug it right into your phone, and then you get, so it's not Bluetooth or any of that stuff. So you don't have that latency, and we'll see that when we talk about these games, racing games, Call of Duty Mobile. Nothing is more annoying than input lag when you're going ahead, you're trying to move around, you're trying to get the jump on somebody in a game, and it just goes ahead and lags out. But you can see nice hardware. Is it as solid or as heavy as a regular Xbox controller? The answer is going to be no. I wouldn't expect it to be. But it is nice. The button L3, R3, clickable, positive clicks, left bumper, right bumper, fine. The triggers feel good. Buttons are nice. They're not mushy at all. And the D-pad is good all the way around, so no problems there. And then you have here at the bottom, which you could notice, that lightning pass-through that we talked about, which is great because you're doing a long gaming session. Perhaps you're at home. You could go ahead and put your lightning connector in there and actually charge your phone while you're gaming, so you don't have to worry about that. And, of course, you have a headphone jack, 3.5mm headphone jack for your sound. I wanted to show the app quickly because it's great. It's not necessary for a lot of the games, but it does help out. Because if you can see here, the first time that you go into an app, like you go into Genshin, it won't show it because I've done it already. It'll tell you how to get the controller to work. So the first time I went into Genshin, it said complete tutorial, then go into settings. The first time I went into Apex, it said you have to start a game and then plug in the controller and that'll work. So it's nice to see some assistance there because it's not uniform across the board. Just because you plug a controller in doesn't mean it's going to work. But overall, I like it. Let's get to the gameplay, and we'll talk a bit more about the performance. Let's start with some Call of Duty Mobile. And I'll tell you, I liked Call of Duty Mobile when it first came out. I love the setup. I love the maps. I love that it was a combination of all the games that I love. But I absolutely can't stand playing mobile games with my thumbs on the glass. I just block a lot of the screen. I feel like it's unresponsive. I feel like a lot of the times it's inconsistent as well. The slide on the glass going both ways. I never know. I can't just do stuff by feel, like reload or ADS or throwing a grenade. Stuff like that is just where you got used to doing it on a controller where you don't have to look. I feel myself looking at the screen. It's just not a fun experience, but it's a game that I'd love to play. So if you're somebody that's in the same boat, you love the idea of mobile games, you think a lot of them are really cool, but you just never play with them because the glass or having your thumbs on the glass annoys you that much, then this is a must-have for you because now I'll play this. I'll play Call of Duty Mobile. I actually had an enjoyable time, and it's just like playing it on a console. It's great to get to your kill streaks, as you can see here. Able to get through the entire set as we just destroy this lobby on Nuketown, but it was a much better experience than I'm used to on Call of Duty Mobile, and that was something that's definitely worth the price of admission. Then we're going to get right into Asphalt 9, and much like Call of Duty Mobile, you don't want latency. You don't want input lag. You don't want to be able to have, you make a move and then 3 seconds later you find it on screen. And that's especially important when you talk about racing games, those micro adjustments that you have to make in order to get by a competitor, not go out of bounds, whatever it happens to be on there. You want fine tuning. You want to be able to see what you do immediately on the screen. The wired helps with that, but also the controller itself is well built. So you can see me navigating here with no issues. It's fast, it runs well. And again, this is another game that if I had to use my thumbs on the screen, I wouldn't be playing it. But now that I could use a controller like this, I will be playing it. The great thing is, yeah, you could hook up a Bluetooth PlayStation controller or Xbox controller or plug something in, but this is a one-stop shop. You got the nice grip there, you got the holder there that's solid, it's not going to drop your phone, so you don't have to worry about a stand or propping up your phone somehow. You have one-stop solution where you can put your phone in here, plug it in. If you need to charge it, you could do that even with the pass-through. It just overall is a nice setup if you're a gamer. And then, of course, everybody's favorite. We had to check in on the waifus at Genshin Impact. And this is a game that doesn't run particularly well, but is super annoying to use with your thumbs on the screen. This works well. And this is another one of those ones that the app helps you with. I wouldn't have known that I had to go through the tutorial, then unlock settings, then be able to use the controller. I just would have plugged in the controller and not felt that I was able to use it because it wasn't allowing me the settings right away. But the app said, no, hold on, get through the intro. You'll be able to select it, controller, before you start, and you're able to get going there, and I'm able to use it. And it works well. All the buttons map out fine. No remapping. That was the other thing with the other games. Call of Duty Mobile, I didn't have to remap anything. It just was natural. I didn't have to remap anything for Asphalt. It just was natural. And same thing here with Genshin. The mapping is good. Everything else, the controller support is excellent. Anything. And the controller is solid itself. So if you know a gamer, if you are a gamer, certainly worth picking up. Link in the description. Solid, good controller for the money. And the functionality that it gives you to open up the world of mobile gaming, which there are a lot of deep, nice console-esque games on here with the graphics that you can have on some of these phones. So it opens up that world. Until next time, if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve Delicious day.